Peace, love, energy, light, and infinite love to all my beautiful, needy people to the island. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing the diligence, doing the proper paperwork, and doing the proper foot trails to get the right paperwork, asking the right family members in the family, digging deep and far back in her story to figure out the truth. Now, it's been this thing. I grew up playing the sport of football, the puppet game, little gladiator game. NFL is like a slave plantation. Let the little nigglets run around and do all the work while the master get paid, you know. So I do got to break away from that illusion because, any game, any sport that does not find the referees is rigged. It's all rigged. All this shit is rigged. So with that said, these contracts are rigged, you know. I was born in Washington, D.C., Southwest Washington, D.C. I reside in Maryland now. The Baltimore Ravens became a team in 1996. I've been a fan of them since 1995, before they even became a team. Because I heard they were coming next year, the very next year. Home team, the Washington Redskins. Now they changed their name to the Commanders. The Washington Redskins had a mascot that resembled us, the indigenous, dark, melanated, needy people of the land. They had to destroy that image because too many people were looking at that image and finding out the truth. Anything that pushes you to the truth about who we are, they're going to try to hide it and discourage it. So with that said, my team, my favorite team, that I root for, yeah, I know it's a program. I know. It's the only little thing I watch on there. I don't watch TV. Football season come around. If I ain't doing nothing, I ain't researching, I probably catch my little team playing. I know. I'm gonna have to get out of that very soon because all that is about to come to an end. All these playing around distractions, they're about to pull the plug and it's about to go down. So I noticed this pattern with my ravens. First and foremost, a flock of ravens, the birds, a group of ravens together on the ground, it's called a murder. You see a flock of black ravens around, it's called a murder. But they're not really black, they're like a real dark purple. Beautiful, beautiful color when the sun shines on them. And the Baltimore Ravens mascots used to be named Eller, Agar, and Poe. The Baltimore Ravens theme in Baltimore is the poet Allen Agam Poe. His poems were, a lot of dark poems, a lot of gritty poems, So the team is based off that poet and that dark energy. So I notice every time an event happens, like a death happens, we win the Super Bowl. Like back in 2001, Ray Lewis had his incident outside a nightclub, if I'm not mistaken. Where he had his incident outside of a club where I think one or two people, probably one, got gunned down by his limousine. And won the Super Bowl that year. The next one was Sandy Hook and wide receiver Torrey Smith. He had a death. His brother died in the Sandy Hook shooting, so I guess those were the sacrifices. And then we won a Super Bowl that year. This year, rest in peace, Jalen Ferguson. Condolence to his family. He just passed. And 2001, last time we won the Super Bowl was 2021. This year is 2022, going to 23. So we all know about numerology and the Fibonacci sequence, 3, 6, 9, and how you add them all up. how Sandy Hook, the same away, the distance Sandy Hook was from Baltimore Stadium was the same exact altitude and longitude of the Superdome in New Orleans. It was like, it wasn't a coincidence. Like, there's no way. And then the date of that Super Bowl lined up when the Superdome was first built in that little area. Because a lot of these football stadiums are built on these things called 188 land lines. These are different energy fields around the planet that conduct energy. So at certain times when they start these games and these bunch of these people are in these stadiums giving these energies, they're giving energy to certain deities, to certain energy, to certain what do you call alchemy circles, alchemy. It's like an alchemist type energy. The designs of the stadium, the shape of the stadiums. Just like when you look at the Vatican, over there, it's like some church over there with the Pope's church over there, where it's like just a statue of a big ass peacock Jesus with flames or some shit, where the Pope sits at his little altar, his little throne. It's like a big Jesus with blood and spirits and things hanging out. And the way that the agriculture, not the agriculture, but the architect design of the building structure is like a serpent. It's like a snake. It's like a snake's head. You got the eyes all the way up to the altar. And then the scales are like the lighting. And then you look on top of the building, it's also like a serpent's hood, like a cobra's hood, a snake's hood, and see the snake's eyes. So with that said, I think there's going to be another. You see how they're pushing these so-called mass shootings? They do that every time they need blood sacrifices, and they're about to have another ritual event to try to push you all into fear and to also strip you slowly from your natural rights, your natural constitutional rights, natural living rights as a human, your common sense, common law, international law, natural law. Trying to strip all that from you. So the downfall is religion and our ignorance, you guys. They're baiting off your ignorance and this bullshit religion they push to have you forget who you are. So, with that said, understand we're not religious, we're spiritual. The etymology of the word religion is just to do something. Religious is just to do something repeatedly. Back to back to back to back. Just keep doing it. Religion has nothing to do with spirituality. Remember, you have a history and a culture way before the Bible, way before these religions. Understand that, know that, and understand that. Peace, love, energy, and light, y'all.